Kerala, God's own country, a land of emerald backwaters, swaying coconut palms and fragrant spice gardens. The air is thick with the scent of jasmine and cardamom. The people are known for their warm hospitality and infectious smiles. It is a place where time seems to slow down, where worries melt away under the tropical sun. But beneath this idyllic exterior lies a hidden heart. A heart steeped in ancient traditions, whispered legends, and tales of the supernatural. For Kerala is also a land of ancient temples, some shrouded in mystery and fear. Temples where the veil between the living and the dead is thin. Deep in the heart of Kerala's lush forests, hidden amongst the tangled vines and ancient trees, lies one such temple, the Bhootamkavu Temple, a place where serenity meets terror, where the air is heavy with unspoken secrets and the shadows seem to dance with unseen entities. The Bhootamkavu Temple stands as a stark contrast to the idyllic beauty of its surroundings. Nestled amidst the lush greenery of Kerala, this temple exudes an aura that is both enchanting and unsettling. Its ancient stone walls are draped in creeping vines, and the air is heavy with the scent of incense and decay. The walls, though crumbling, tell tales of a bygone era, whispering secrets to those who dare to listen. The temple is dedicated to Lord Shiva, the destroyer and transformer in the Hindu Trinity. His presence is felt in every corner, from the weathered statues to the sacred symbols etched into the stone. But unlike the grand and opulent temples found in cities, Bhootamkavu has an air of neglect, almost forgotten by time. The once vibrant murals have faded, and the temple's grandeur has been replaced by a haunting desolation. The temple courtyard is overgrown with weeds, and the stone carvings on its walls are worn smooth by the relentless passage of time. Each carving, though eroded, holds a story of devotion, sacrifice, and mystery. The air is thick with an oppressive silence, broken only by the rustling of leaves and the occasional screech of a bird. This silence is not just the absence of sound, but a palpable presence that weighs heavily on the soul. Locals whisper tales of strange occurrences and eerie phenomena within the temple's crumbling walls. They speak of shadows that move on their own, and whispers that seem to come from the very stones themselves. But the true terror of Bhootamkavu lies not in its physical appearance, but in its gruesome past. A past that is as dark and twisted as the vines that cling to its walls. A past steeped in betrayal, murder, and restless spirits seeking retribution. The temple has witnessed acts of unspeakable horror, leaving behind an indelible mark on its very essence. It is said that the temple is haunted by the vengeful spirit of a local landlord, unjustly accused and brutally executed within the temple grounds. His spirit, they say, roams the temple seeking justice and peace that eludes him even in death. The locals believe that his presence is the source of the temple's eerie atmosphere, a constant reminder of the injustices of the past. Many years ago, a wealthy and influential landlord lived near the Bhootamkavu Temple. This temple, known for its mystical aura and ancient rituals, stood as a silent witness to the unfolding drama. He was a cruel and ruthless man, feared by the villagers for his temper and his tyrannical rule. His presence cast a long shadow over the village, and his name was spoken in hushed tones. He exploited the poor, seized their land, and lived a life of luxury while his people suffered. The villagers toiled day and night, their sweat and tears enriching the landlord's coffers. One day, a strange illness swept through the village, claiming the lives of many, including the landlord's own son. The once vibrant village was now shrouded in sorrow and despair. Stricken by grief and desperate for answers, the villagers turned to superstition. They performed rituals and sought the guidance of the village elders, hoping to find a cure for the mysterious plague. Whispers began to circulate, accusing the landlord of practicing witchcraft and causing the deadly plague. The villagers' fear and suspicion grew, fueled by the eerie occurrences and unexplained deaths. Fueled by fear and anger, the villagers stormed the landlord's mansion, dragging him to the Bhootamkavu Temple. The air was thick with tension as the mob demanded justice. They accused him of invoking evil spirits and demanded his immediate execution as a sacrifice to appease the gods. The temple, once a place of worship, now echoed with cries for blood. The terrified landlord pleaded his innocence, but his cries fell on deaf ears. The villagers, blinded by rage and fear, were determined to see him punished. In a brutal display of mob justice, the villagers hanged the landlord from a tamarind tree within the temple grounds. The tree, once a symbol of life, now bore the weight of death. As he breathed his last, the landlord cursed the villagers, vowing to haunt them for eternity. His eyes, filled with malice, seemed to pierce through the souls of those who watched. His words echoed through the temple courtyard, a chilling promise of vengeance that would forever stain the sanctity of Bhootamkavu. The villagers, now haunted by their own actions, would never forget the day they let fear and superstition rule their hearts. Soon after the landlord's execution, strange and unsettling occurrences began to plague the villagers. Unexplained illnesses returned, crops withered and died, and the once thriving village fell into despair. Accidents befell those who dared venture near the Bhootamkavu Temple after sunset. The villagers, once full of life and laughter, now lived in constant fear. Whispers of the landlord's vengeful spirit spread like wildfire. The stories grew more terrifying with each retelling, and the fear among the villagers intensified. People claimed to see his shadowy figure wandering the temple grounds at night, his presence sending chills down their spines. His eyes, burning with an eerie glow, seemed to pierce through the darkness, watching and waiting. Others reported hearing his blood-curdling screams echoing through the silent forest, a sound that haunted their dreams and left them sleepless. The once sacred temple, a place of worship and solace, transformed into a place of fear and dread. The villagers no longer sought refuge there. Instead, they avoided it at all costs, the mere mention of its name causing their hearts to pound with terror. The path leading to the temple became overgrown and abandoned, a stark reminder of the fear that gripped the village. Villagers huddled together in their homes, sharing stories of the landlord's ghost and the horrors that awaited anyone who dared to approach the temple. Travelers passing through the region reported a palpable sense of unease near the temple. They spoke of an oppressive atmosphere that seemed to weigh down on them. Some claimed to hear disembodied whispers, voices that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. They felt an unseen presence watching their every move, a sensation that left them cold and trembling. The Bhootamkavu Temple had become a place where the living feared to tread, a place haunted by the restless spirit of a man unjustly condemned. The villagers knew that as long as the spirit remained, their lives would never return to normal. The haunting had only just begun, and the fear it brought would linger for generations to come.